Tonight, the Ford government gets spicy reaction to its proposed changes to the criminal code, which includes the desire to legalize pepper spray. 2 supervised drug consumption sites getting set to close after the funding gets yanked. Plus, how residents are reacting to sticker shock, though the latest inflation numbers point to a cooling off. Good evening. The justice system in the spotlight tonight now that the Premier is outlining a list of things he wants to see changed. Doug Ford says it will help the province crack down on crime, but critics suggest many of the things on the wish list aren't realistic. CTV's Stefan Morris has tonight's top story.
It's used by police to keep crowds under control. Its deployment can clear out schools. Now the Premier wants the federal government to allow you to pack pepper spray for self-defense.
Let's say a woman's leaving a job at night and walking home. She needs something to defend herself.
The Trudeau government shut down a similar request from Alberta 5 years ago. Ontario's Association of Chiefs of Police say they weren't consulted on this one.
I think it's a threat to policing and the safety of policing, but the bigger issue is the threat to the public.
Lewis worries about well-intentioned people hurting themselves and putting a weapon
in the hands of a whole pile of people that have no intentions of defending themselves. They just wanted to assault others.
Those who teach women to protect themselves and trust their intuition admit many already carry canisters.
I think it's a good idea. Do I think it's a magic wand? No, but honestly, we're taking baby steps.
Pepper spray, just one item on the Premier's wish list for the federal justice minister. When it comes to those arrested for sexual assault,
why are we not taking DNA samples from them immediately?
The Canadian Civil Liberties Association points out an arrest is not the same as a conviction.
So it is concerning that people who are presumed innocent are going to have their DNA automatically collected.
Frustrated at some accused criminals getting bail, Doug Ford proposes to live stream hearings, part of what he sees as measures to keep judges honest.
We need to create an anonymous regional dashboard to identify bias, promote accountability, and restore public confidence.
Rahim counters bail hearings aren't cloaked in secrecy, but designed not to taint a trial.
If this is going to become a tool to publicly shame certain justices, for example, for making decisions that the Premier does not like, well, that's a very dangerous threat to the rule of law and judicial independence.
Stefan Morris, CTV News.
Meanwhile, there's lots of reaction tonight to the Ford government's move to shut down more supervised consumption sites. The province is pulling funding from multiple locations across Ontario, including the only 2 left here in Ottawa. The Sandy Hill Community Health Centre and Ottawa Inner City Health, which operates a trailer at the Shepherds of Good Hope, will both see their provincial funding slashed within 90 days. CTV's Austin Lee has more.
After 9 years of operations, to suddenly withdraw that service from the community is going to be quite devastating.
Rob Boyd, the CEO of Ottawa Inner City Health, says the Ford government's decision to pull funding from supervised consumption sites will not improve public safety.
We average between 600 and 1,000 visits per week at the trailer. And so all of those visits, all of those injections are actually going to be transferred into the community and into the local neighborhood as a consequence of this decision. It's not going to stop the behavior.
Within 90 days, the province will stop funding sites in communities with a homelessness and addiction recovery treatment or heart hub. Advocates say that will increase pressure on emergency and medical services.
In the last 6 months, we have responded to over 250 overdoses here. That would be a major strain if that went to the hospital system.
The province opened heart hubs last year as part of a plan to move away from supervised consumption. The new centers offer addiction and mental health services, but they do not offer safer supply. Harm reduction workers fear the move will lead to more overdose deaths, but the Premier is not buying it.
Needles are all over the place. It's like giving an alcoholic a card for the LCBO and saying, okay, go in there and go to town.
7 sites across Ontario are now at risk of closing, including 2 in the nation's capital, Ottawa Inner City Health's trailer and the site at the Sandy Hill Community Health Centre.
Quite devastated. I'm concerned for our clients, concerned for the staff who work at both safe injection sites, and for the community members. I think this will mean a lot more open drug use.
Now, nearby residents wondering how their communities will look without supervised consumption services.
I definitely see a need for them. It's important, and without that, those people are just going to use wherever, however.
Both organizations are calling on the province to reverse its decision.
We have been set up to fail with this.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
We have extended coverage of this issue. Just visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. As we have our first check on the forecast, let's see how things are looking outside. Here's a live look through a Centennial Glass sky cam. Hard to see out there right now as we sit at 1 degree above the freezing mark. It's still fairly wet outside, and as the temperatures dip, some of that is expected to freeze over. And we need to tell you, Environment Canada just put the region back under a special weather statement. Here's Jackie Perez with more.
Well, after the rainfall comes the snow. So yes, in the morning, we will likely see 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. So allocate some time to clear this off before you start your day off. Temperature wise, things are cooling down and rapidly. About midnight hour, 4 degrees. There is a chance of freezing rain as well as temperatures continue to drop below the freezing mark. We're kicking things off around -5, -7 degrees. It'll feel closer to -17 because keep in mind wind gusts are going to be between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. This is going to pick up as we get towards the evening as well. -7, -6 is going to be the anticipated daytime high. And after the snow for our Tuesday, again, the afternoon, mainly cloudy skies. This will carry us into Wednesday, but it will be a little bit till we get the precipitation moving through as well. These details and more in a little bit.
Thank you, Jackie. New data shows Canada's annual inflation rate actually dropped last month, largely because the spike in gas prices was not included in the information for February. But as CTV's Sean Varden reports, that info does not comfort many shoppers already surprised by what they're seeing at the stores.
If you're experiencing shock at the grocery store,
it's too expensive to shop. You can't eat like you used to eat.
That's because prices are still going up. Even though the latest inflation numbers suggest things aren't going up as quickly, the needle's still moving.
I think it's ridiculous. They're gone through the roof.
According to Statistics Canada, inflation cooled a bit, dipping to 1.8% from 2.3% in January. That's encouraging to some, but food inflation is still twice as high at 4.1%. Grocery prices have risen by more than 30% since February 2021, squeezing wallets and changing habits.
I shop every day, and I look for the deals on Flip or Reebie or whatever. So every day I'm on the phone to see where the deals are.
If you look at fresh fruits and vegetables that are coming in by truck from the southern U.S. or from Central America, that transportation cost is roughly 10% of the retail price, and so we will see some upward pressure for those products.
The war in Iran adding to fears inflation might spike again. The price of oil has increased 40 to 50% since February, further risking higher prices for goods and services.
Businesses haven't even recovered from the pandemic. Then we move into a trade war. Now we're moving into rising oil prices. The knocks continue. And for some businesses, this is a big, big threat.
Things that were 2 for $10 are now 2 for $12.99. You know, price of potatoes, the price of beef. Beef is ridiculous. I don't know how people with families do it.
Beef prices in Canada were up nearly 14% in February. And if the war drags on, there are fears rising gas prices could drive up other prices even further.
I try to buy just as I need and nothing else.
The Bank of Canada's next interest rate decision happens Wednesday. Economists fear inflation around the world and here at home could make holding the line on borrowing costs more complicated.
There's no way around it. The next numbers will be higher. The question is how the Bank of Canada will then try to signal what it's likely to do. Most likely, right now it'll stay at the level it is, but it'll kind of say, look, we're really watching this. We don't want to get out of control.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
The Ottawa Fire Service is warning residents to avoid going on the ice, especially during mild temperatures, after having to rescue a dog this weekend. Someone called 911 around 5 p.m. yesterday, reporting a golden retriever had fallen through the ice on the Jock River near McBean Street in Richmond. The dog was clinging to an ice shelf when crews arrived. Firefighters say they were able to safely remove the animal from the freezing water 15 minutes later. In the meantime, Ottawa police are looking for witnesses to a hit and run last month. A pedestrian was struck in the Carlton Heights area around Fisher Avenue and Viewmount Drive on the morning of February 6th. Police say the person was hit by a light-colored sedan while crossing the street and that the driver did not stick around. The pedestrian was seriously injured. Anyone with information is being asked to reach out to police. Police are also looking for help identifying a suspect in connection with a recent restaurant break-in. Police say the man broke into an establishment on Elgin Street on February 19th and stole personal items from the kitchen and staff room. The suspect is described as a white man around 25 to 35 years old. He was wearing a black baseball cap, a dark jacket, and dark shoes at the time. Ontario is taking the next step toward replacing an aging jail here in our region. The provincial government announcing today it's moving forward with plans for a new correction complex to replace the historic Brockville jail. The new facility would be built nearby on the grounds of the St. Lawrence Valley Correctional and Treatment Center. It's expected to house significantly more inmates with updated security and programming. Also, the Ottawa Chinatown BIA is warning area residents about a spree in vehicle break-ins. They posted this video on social media showing someone breaking into one just yesterday morning. They say there have been 8 break-ins in the past few weeks alone. The BIA is offering a $200 reward for information leading to the identification of the alleged suspect or an arrest.
One of the biggest problems with these batteries is that the fires can start so quickly and grow so fast.
Coming up, a warning about batteries and blazes, why lithium-ion in devices are becoming more of a concern as local officials investigate one of the city's most recent building fires.
You're watching CTV News at 11:30 with Stefan Keys.
Here's a live look at the Queensway this hour. A dip in temperature and a chance of mixed precipitation could make roads fairly slick for the start of St. Patrick's Day. Be mindful as you get behind the wheel for March break activities as well. Here's Jackie with a closer look at the forecast.
Well, overnight temperatures really dropping significantly, but it will be warmer than what it will be for tomorrow's daytime high. 3 degrees around the midnight hour. Rain transitioning into snow. The wind gusts 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow morning, though, it's going to pick up to 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. And we're only getting to a daytime high of -6. So keep in mind, it will be cloudy and very windy for much of our Tuesday. Now, tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, about -6 degrees around Brockville and Ottawa and Cornwall, -11 and Pembroke as well as Petawawa as well. So the temperatures starting to cool off quite drastically as we look towards tomorrow's daytime highs. About -8 in Pembroke and as well as Bancroft, -10, -6 in Ottawa and Gatineau, and -6 in Montreal and Mont-Tremblant. So again, we got that snowfall moving in around the midnight hour, a little bit of that freezing rain as well around Cornwall. Things are going to lighten by the time 7 a.m. rolls around. Could see a little bit of flurries moving through as well, but our Tuesday anticipating mainly cloudy skies, and this will carry on into our Wednesday. Now, taking a look at the next 7 days, yes, daytime high for Wednesday, -3 degrees, and it's going to come off an overnight low of -15. By the time we get to Thursday, it will be our warmest day of the week at 2 degrees, but it will see the return of some showers, perhaps even a mix of some snow in there as well. Friday, first day of spring, not quite looking like it, as temperatures will be a daytime high of -1. And we are anticipating a chance of flurries. It won't be until our Sunday that we could see some sunshine here in the capital.
The investigation continues tonight into a weekend fire in Centertown that claimed the lives of 2 people and injured 3 others. And though there isn't a firm conclusion on the cause just yet, officials have their suspicions and want to warn everyone about lithium-ion batteries. The latest fire drawing focus broke out at a high-rise on Somerset Street West over the weekend. Here's CTV's Kimberly Johnson.
A roaring fire tearing through a 19th floor apartment on Somerset Street West Saturday night.
It was a big black smoke, but it was dark as well. I don't know what happened inside, but it was scary to see it.
2 people were killed. 2 others were taken to hospital, one in critical condition. Firefighters rescued one person that had been trapped on the balcony.
I was freaking out because we live close by, and the fire trucks, they were trying to get the water to. I don't know how they did. It's so far. It's the last floor.
The Ontario Fire Marshal is investigating the cause, including whether this charred e-bike that has a lithium-ion battery found in the unit is to blame.
It is concerning because of the increase in them and the volatility of the batteries.
Ottawa Fire says in 2024, 19 fires were caused by lithium-ion batteries. Last year, that number jumped to 25. And already this year, there have been 8.
One of the biggest problems with these batteries is that the fires can start so quickly and grow so fast. And there's nothing that we really have nowadays that will put it out. We just cool it till it can burn out its cells within the batteries for it to go out.
Last month, 2 homes in Richmond were destroyed after an overcharged drill battery caused a fire. And in January, another house fire sparked in Orleans after a dog chewed through a heated glove powered by a lithium-ion battery.
When you're purchasing, you're wanting to look for the certification marking.
So how do you keep yourself safe? Always check your batteries for damage. Make sure it's not making any hissing or popping sounds. And use the charger that comes with the device. And if it does catch fire in your home, call 911 immediately.
But the minute you see any smoke coming from it, get out.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
The price of food, the price of housing, it's all been really, really expensive. But surprise, now you're paying an extra 16 or 20 cents a litre on gas.
Still to come, carrying a credit card balance and living paycheck to paycheck. More on the new Canadian struggle shortly.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Welcome back. With the Strait of Hormuz still blocked, oil prices continue to surge, which is causing gas prices to spike here at home. At many stations in Ottawa today, drivers paying north of 1.65 cents for a liter of regular. That's up nearly 10 cents since Friday. And as CTV's Pat Foran tells us, a new survey finds that mixed in with the overall financial squeeze has 1 out of 3 people struggling to pay off their credit cards.
Credit card interest rates in Canada can be 20 to 24%, but some cards can be as high as 30%. It's wise to pay off your balance every month to avoid interest charges. But a new survey by Vivi Data found 36% of Canadian credit card holders carry a balance and rely on credit cards when they're short of money. And 49% feel they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Grocery shopping is really difficult. It's really hard to get good quality fruits and vegetables and protein at a reasonable price.
I used to be able to stay on top of my bills, have a few bucks in the bank, go on holidays. I can't do that no more. I basically work and go home.
Food prices are crazy, rent is crazy, so I understand why people would be living paycheck to paycheck.
Almost half of Canadians waiting for their next paycheck is concerning.
And now that 49% number, feeling like they're paycheck to paycheck, that's an incredibly high number.
Not paying off your credit card balance each month also makes it harder to get ahead.
They will use a credit card when they can't make something, can't make some payments at the end of a month. And that just becomes, a vicious cycle.
Credit counseling agencies say they're also noticing more people feeling the financial squeeze.
People were stretched before this new war in Iran. The price of food, the price of housing, it's all been really, really expensive. But surprise, now you're paying an extra 16 or 20 cents a litre on gas.
The survey also found 58% said they have less disposable income than before, and 71% say rising costs are reducing how much they can save. Even if money is tight, it's recommended you try to pay more than the minimum monthly payment on your credit card bill each month.
When you only make your minimum monthly payment, it can take decades to pay off even a small balance.
Housing debt, both rents and mortgages, as well as expensive car loans, are also putting added pressure on many Canadians. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Also, the federal government's pending layoffs are a concern for many in Ottawa and the local economy. The Public Service Alliance of Canada has scheduled virtual meetings for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week so employees can ask questions and share concerns. Over the past 3 months, more than 26,000 public servants have received notices that their jobs could be at risk.
With a big family with 4 kids, you kind of just take opportunity.
Coming up, making March break memories here in Ottawa. More on that in just a few minutes. Well, March break for Ontario schools is now underway, and with 1 day down and a few more to go, the museums want to be on your radar. Here's CTV's Camille Wilson.
It's the kickoff of school break and the first stop for families, the museum.
She wanted to go to museums for March break.
Zoe and her grandpa John have a week ahead of activities.
I have a Winnett tournament actually because I play Winnett. So on Friday is when it starts.
And practice on Thursday. So she's got 3 days to see some museums, and then she's into her ringette.
Their first stop, the Canada Agriculture and Food Museum.
It's an exciting time of year at the farm because there's just new life springing up. We have lots of new life, babies being born.
There are daily cooking demonstrations for families and movies with breakfast.
We've been coming since they were babies, and so we come every year, and we come at different times of the year, but we also thought that there's always babies in the spring, and they really love that.
Zoe and grandpa will be museum hopping at some of the museums open this week for families.
She's also been to the Science and Technology Museum, so she wants to go there this week as well. So, a bit of education.
At the Canadian Museum of Nature, the most popular exhibit right now, Butterflies in Flight. Learning about the butterfly life cycle.
Where your feet are going?
For Samantha Vanas and her family, this is what they came for.
I've been here before, but my mom's never been here, and the kids are finally at an age where I think they can enjoy it. So, with a big family with 4 kids, you kind of just take opportunity.
We have a brand new exhibit called Life Onto Land, where we talk a little bit more about adaptations to the environment, because the environment changed, and so animals back in the day that were fish eventually changed. It became tetrapods, so animals with 4 limbs.
And a water gallery at the Pacific Discovery Tank exhibit with live invertebrates and science interpreters explaining how to protect the environment, the animals, and all the living beings that are in it.
Maybe.
But the highlight for the week?
Go swimming or go see a movie.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Stittsville's Kalinda Joseph is coming back to the capital with a gold medal from the Paralympics. Team Canada beat China in mixed team wheelchair curling 4-3 on Saturday. The Paralympics wrapped up yesterday. Canada won a total of 15 medals, 3 gold, 4 silver, and 8 bronze.
'Twas the night before Paddy's when all through the pub, not a regular was stirring.
When we return, businesses in the capital getting ready for official St. Patrick's Day celebrations.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Right now it's 0 out there, a degree colder than just 20 minutes ago. Over to Jackie for a final check on weather.
-5 to kick things off, but again, with those blustery winds, it's going to feel closer to -11. Those wind gusts between 50 to 70 kilometers per hour, and there still could be some flurries moving about. Don't be surprised if you're waking up to 2 to 4 centimeters of snow after the overnight snowfall. It should clear by the afternoon, where we will anticipate some mainly cloudy skies. This will carry us into Wednesday, where the daytime high will be -3. We could see the return of some snow showers by the time Thursday rolls in, but the daytime high will be -2, or I should say +2 degrees.
Finally for us tonight, Irish eyes are smiling on Ottawa. Pub staff across the city apparently resting up for St. Patrick's Day.
'Twas the night before Paddy's when all through the pub, not a regular was stirring, not even in snug. The shamrocks were...
Ottawa's Heart and Crown releasing this satirical video on social media today. The Bayard Market location's exterior is lit up in green tonight. But again, according to this video, it's all about tomorrow, with staff finding nooks and crannies to sleep in before the doors open. Over the weekend, the line here, the Bayard Market location went around the block. Owners referring to Saturday the 14th as St. Pat Practice Day. That is CTV News for this Monday, March 16th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app. And for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and happy St. Patrick's Day.